I just moved to Dallas with no job, no money, and no real plan. Just my faith, a dream, and a new apartment. Here's to rebuilding my life through Christ. So, a few weeks I decided to get up and leave. Now, Georgia. Now listen, how did I end up in Georgia? I was running. I was running from the pain that I had felt in Houston. And even though, you know, your girl talked to a therapist and everything, I still wanted to just believe that God was sending me to Georgia. And I just made my own confirmations and it was wrong. And so when I got to Georgia, you know, I realized that I was out of order. I was out of God's will. I knew it by everything that was happening. My stuff got lost. My furniture, all my clothes, everything got lost. The job that I moved there for, I only moved there because that was the place that, if for one, it was far away. I knew the area that I was going to. And then on top of that, the job, it was an education because I taught algebra. And so I was like, okay, cool, I got a job. I just go there. Because the place, Dallas was a place that was always on my heart. But when I applied for an algebra job, I didn't get it. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go to the 8th grade math set, or I think it was a STEM position in Georgia. Y'all, I get there. This is how you know you are outside the will of God. I get there. The pay is $30,000 less than what I've been making.
What are you saying? What is this?
Okay. Girl, the people were, they were nice, but it was just a big lie. And I'm like, yo, why did y'all lie to me like that? Like, it was never that deep. I came all the way from Houston. And so first strike, my stuff was missing. It was gone. The job, $30,000 below pay. I was like, I'm not going to do that. And then I didn't have really a church. The church I was going to, it wasn't bad because I've been there before. But y'all, it was just like one of them things where you just go to church. Like, it was a lady on her laptop. It was a lady on her laptop during the service. She on Amazon because I was sitting behind her. I'm like, how do you have enough time to get on Amazon? How? Anyways, so I said, you know what? I fasted and I prayed and I cried and I told the Lord, I said, Lord, I just wanted to leave Houston so bad because I had been hurt there so badly. I didn't care about the money. I didn't care about the job. I just wanted to get out. And I told him, I said, I forced something and I thought it was your hand and it was not your hand. So what did your girl do? I fasted this time because I did a dry fast. Because I said, well, no, I can't make another mistake. It's a church that I have been following for like a year and a half. And so it's in Dallas. And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go on faith and I'm going to try to get to Dallas, okay? And this is after I prayed. This is after I dry fasted. This is not something I just did like last time when I came to Georgia, me just doing it off of physical things, right? I had the faith this time. I had the confirmation from God. And I told the Lord, I said, Lord, I'm a little slow. So I need you to kind of tell me, is this where you want me to be? Is this, do you want me in Dallas? Do you not want me in Dallas? And of course, I then did get the real confirmations. They weren't from me. They were from the Lord. They were aligned to the Bible. And so I'm like, okay, now it's aligned. I believe it. Because when it's not aligned to the Bible and it's aligned to yourself, baby, it's not of God. Let's be for real. So long story short, I get the confirmation and many confirmations. And so my dad, he was going back to Houston to go get my mom because she was moving as well. And so my mom then was moving to Georgia, and they're like, oh, Taylor, we want you to stay in Georgia because, we're here, da-da-da. You don't have no family in Dallas, da-da-da. And I'm like, Mom, I gotta go because I feel like this is where God wanted me. Now, a little backstory. I'm going to talk about it later in another video, but when I got to Georgia, you know when you're not in the will of God. I'm going to tell you that. Because every sign points to get out of here. Get gone. Okay? I'm talking about spiritual warfare at its highest. I was out of the will of God. And because I was out of the will of God, I got attacked like heavy. And I'll do another video on that. But anyways, my dad, he was going back to Houston to go get my mom. Because he had went down there prior for his job. I told my dad, I I said I'm gonna get the movers and I'm gonna get out of here. So I got movers. I didn't even pack that place that I was at. I paid everything off. I got the movers. I got out of there. Got to Dallas, got a nice apartment close to downtown. It's really, really nice views, and I kept all my furniture. It's a studio apartment, but y'all know I like studios. Until your girl level up a little bit and get a house, I'm gonna stay in the studio because it's just me. I don't need that much space. I don't need to be paying all that money because I was in Houston and I'm not doing it again. Okay, I gotta think smarter. And so I moved to Dallas. The cost was hefty. I had to drive my own car. I have a Jeep, so I drove my car, and I just relocated. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I thought I was getting money from my job because I had previously called them, the one in Houston, because I was a teacher, so I would have got it all summer. That lady told me, okay, your last check will be on September 5th. So I said, okay, great. I have up until September 5th to make things work. The money dried up. So I said, Lord, maybe you didn't want me to come here. Maybe you didn't want me to come here. I'm in the wrong. You know, that's the first thought I had. And I was going to give up. Let's just be honest. I'm like, I keep screwing up. I'm going to give up. And so I just kept praying about it, kept praying. And, you know, that's when I told the Lord, I said, Lord, if you want me to stay here in Dallas, I need you to pay the rent. Because the lady said the rent was due. I had just paid the rent for September 20-something. And the rent was due again on the 1st of, what was it? No, August 20-something. And the rent was due again on September 1st. So I'm like, Lord, if you want me to stay here, I need help because I ain't got it. So long story short, the 3rd comes around. My rent is due. It's late. They're giving me like a late rent letter saying, hey, you just moved. She said, didn't you just move in here? I said, yeah, I did. My check wasn't coming. They said that the school lied. The check was not coming. I'm like, okay, I ain't got no more money because I used all my money to move to Georgia. Then I moved all the way here. And yeah, it was just crazy. So I called on the Lord and I told him, I said, Lord, if you want me here in Dallas, make a way. Whatever way it is, just make a way. I said, and I'm, you know, whatever I could do. Y'all, I prayed that prayer. And I'm not lying to you. I want to say the next day, I got denied for every loan. Because I got car and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? And also I was in between jobs. So I got denied for every loan. And so I prayed and prayed and prayed. And I'm like, Lord, please help me. And I applied for like a temporary kind of thing. And all of a sudden, because I knew I have retirement money. So I was like, okay, I could use that to move. Y'all, I kid you not, everybody denied me, and one person said, okay, we'll have it in your bank account tomorrow. I was able to pay the rent. I was able to stay, and then I was able to get the other money that I knew I was going to get eventually. And it came, the lady told me 30 days. It only took 10 days for me to get my money. And so then I was able to pay that off, okay, that little loan off. And it was small loan. I was able to pay that off. And then I was able to just live here. And now my rent is paid all the way up until December. So God has been like showing up and showing out, y'all. And I will tell y'all, take a leap of faith. Do not give up on God, okay? Do not give up on God, because if he wants you in a place, he gonna make a way. And so, you know, my hope and my plan here in Dallas is that it turns into the best city I can experience. I've been here for a month now, and I love it. I love the church I go to. They're very, very kind, very nice. I've met some people. I got hit on a couple times, girl. You know what I'm saying? In the gym, girl. But yeah, I done had a good time so far, and I just, I just want to stay long enough so I can make friends and meet people and just experience. You know what I'm saying? So if you are in Dallas, hit me up so you can help me out. Like, I want to go places. I've been going places on my own. Let's you know what I'm talking about. But I'm just saying, I want to meet new people that are in Christ or godly, things like that, because I want to network and I want to learn and glean from others as well as give into my community and stuff like that. So, I'm so excited for where God is taking me in this season. I just want to share my testimony. Like, God can do it. Now, the job situation, I have had 3 job offers, but I am trying to get that one job in tech. Because I have my engineering degree, but I only taught algebra. So it's like, I don't want to be in education anymore, and I'll make a separate video about that, but I'm trying to get that tech job. Okay, you hear me? So if you know some little skills, hit your girl up and help me out. So this is my video. I'm excited to be in Dallas. If you are in Dallas, hit me up and, maybe we can connect, girl. Guy, whoever you are. Okay, bye guys.